Yo, welcome back. It's the Antifreeze Podcast. I'm Mickey22, and I got my two co-hosts with me today.
I'm Scales of
Scales.
Life.
Okay, thank you. And I Miss T. I don't know why he took forever to say his name. You sick? You
Hey,
okay?
I was
You
yeah, I
slowly
was waiting
waking
on.
up?
Hey, I
What's
was
going
waiting on
on?
you. The whole ladies first thing. Remember?
Oh no, I'm good. I don't mind. He don't mind. Just come on, sir, with the get on. You need to wake up, drink you some coffee.
Welcome
Come
back, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back.
on.
Man,
So
feels good to be
y'all,
back on here.
it really does. So y'all, today, we got two topics for y'all just for today. And those topics are council shows that had a lot of potential. And we're talking about like old cartoons and animes that had potential, and the network that they were streaming for, or the network that had rights to them, just like flat out just cancel. And Mickey already know what I'm finna say. I don't even know why he brought this up.
Mhm. Well, I guess
Generator
like
Rex.
like G- I
Generator freaking Rex.
well, you can go first since you all here go.
Yep.
I was just gonna say Generator Rex had so much fucking potential, and then on top of that, there was another one that I feel like it had so much potential, was the Thundercats that came out in 2011.
Okay, okay,
Yep.
okay.
I really do. I feel like that Thundercats was going somewhere versus, because for I knew about Thundercats before I even like knew about anything else because of my mom and my cousins and stuff. So I never got to watch the original, like the 80s, late 80s, early 90s Thundercats, until I finally watched it, probably around in my teens or whatever. And when the new one came out, I was kind of psyched about it because I was like, "Oh, they bringing back like, oh, you know, Thundercats," and then it had more drama versus the actual cartoon, and I was rooting for it because in this version, um, Leo and his brother, they were literally like competing against each other, and it wasn't even like on no friendly type competition. It really was on some like, I really hate my brother because he has it all, or I hate my brother because everybody feels like he should be king. Like they had some real drama going
Yeah.
on, and like in one scene, he literally left, the older brother literally left Leo in this bottom of this cave or this pit or whatever, and left him, like completely said, "Fuck you, little bro. I don't got shit to do with you," and left. And I was like, bruh, y'all supposed to be brothers. Like, what is y'all issue?
We're supposed to
And
be
then,
brothers. Great movie reference, by the way.
Yeah.
and next thing you know, it was canceled. And I was like, what the fuck? What happened? And you only had one season. You couldn't make it to season two, maybe like season three going on.
Did you have a
Maybe.
third one misinterrupting me?
I, I might have had a third one in there, but I'm gonna keep that one. You can go ahead and
What you
get.
mean? If you know what it is, you might as well say it.
No,
Might as well go for it.
no,
Might as well.
no,
Say it.
no,
Say it.
no
Say it.
Superman here.
Say it.
No Superman here. No, no, no.
Oh Lord.
Well, fine.
But
Since
y'all go.
I'll go since somebody wanted to interrupt me. And I feel like the ones that I'm going to say, well, the first one I'm going to say is kind of a curveball. Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that new season, yeah, I
Jimmy
hate that it got
Neutron had the potential to be one of the iconic shows right alongside Fairy Odd Parents and SpongeBob. But it got
Yeah.
canceled for no reason. For the time period that it came out, it was different. It was like the
it,
Yeah.
funnier version of Dexter's Laboratory. It was
it
the
really
Yeah. It
funniest
really
was.
Dexter's
was.
Laboratory. They took what made Dexter good and they just made it funnier. Even the
Yep.
rest of the cast was funnier than in Dexter's Laboratory. Sheen and Carl and them, like that show would literally have
Yes.
you laughing because it was genuinely funny. But they
Yeah.
canceled it. Like it had a whole movie. I know y'all remember the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour specials on Nickelodeon in the
Yes.
2000s.
Of course.
1 and 2 was good. Like it
Yeah.
even had video games, but it got canceled. Like I don't understand why a show like for the time period in the early to mid 2000s for a show that different, it got canceled way too soon. And Planet Machine
It
was
really did.
ass. It did not replace it. It was ass. I could not stand Planet Sheen. It was all types of ass. It wasn't funny. Like Sheen is not funny by himself. He needs like Jimmy and Carl and other people to help make him funnier. He didn't need his own show.
Yeah.
He didn't need it.
Right.
Now this next one I found out a little bit later in life because it was just a little bit before my time, but my sister introduced it to me, As Told by Ginger.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that growing up. I really did.
As Told
I
by
did too.
Ginger is one of the best cartoons Nickelodeon ever made. But as a trend, you gonna see it got canceled. I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck it is with Nickelodeon when they genuinely have a great cartoon like As Told by Ginger, but they just fucking cancel it. Like As Told by
Yeah.
Ginger was basically like a slightly older Hey Arnold to give it a
It
reference
really
point.
was.
It was like a
It really
slightly
was.
it was like Hey Arnold, but from like, old like a seventh to eighth, like ninth grade type perspective and shit. Like, they had,
Pretty much.
they had their funny episodes, they had their sad episodes, but it was overall a great fucking show, which should have
It,
had multiple seasons. It should
it
have had
feels
Yeah.
like it
multiple
was the
fucking
Zoe
seasons.
101 before Zoe 101.
Exactly.
Basically.
And that show got canceled too. It was literally it's like a cartoon Zoe 101. That's like the best way that I
That's
could
all it
describe it.
was.
A
Yeah.
cartoon Zoe
That's all
101.
it was for me.
And like As Told by Ginger is one of the best examples of like you can like you can make a cartoon about like a teenager going through like tough shit, but not and make it well. If that makes sense. Like you can tell the
Yeah.
story of like,
Yeah, kind of
Ginger
like
going through like puberty issues and shit and like, parent issues and shit without making it cringy or like
you
over the
know what?
top.
Yeah.
You know what? It was like a Degrassi before Degrassi.
It was like Degrassi, but like with the good amount of drama and not the over dramatic ass shit that Degrassi had.
True, very much true. But then I was finna say, you had Braceface and Sabrina the Teenage Witch,
Yeah.
the animated form,
Yeah.
and those were like canceled like right off, like right. I was like, damn, Braceface was kind of like Told by Ginger, but it's about a
Yeah.
girl who's going through an awkward phase who has braces.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
same thing, the shit that Ginger's going through.
yeah, like As Told by Ginger had like the perfect tone of telling the story about that awkward phase in your life and shit when you in middle school and shit like that. Like it wasn't overly dramatic. The stories made sense and they were reasonable. A lot of the times when you have
Yeah.
shows like this and they try to like, tell you about, like a awkward phase in your life for like a high school years and shit, they either be overly dramatic or the stories just don't be realistic and they don't feel and they're not relatable. You know what I'm saying? Like none of
Yeah.
this shit.
Right.
A lot of the time, none of this shit be relatable to anybody. Like it won't be relatable to nobody, like at all.
Kind of like how Cartoon Network had like canceled Static Shock, and
Yeah,
I don't know if nobody remembers Ozzy and Drix.
I do.
yeah. I remember Ozzy
Like
and Drake.
those got canceled, and I was like, "Fuck!" I was in love with Ozzy and Drix because I watched the movie Almost as Jones, and I was
Yeah.
like, I was for it because it was teaching kids in a way, but it was still fun that they didn't know that they were actually learning about their
Right.
Exactly.
bodies.
That's what I was trying to say. Like shows like that, like Ozzy and Drix and As Told by Ginger, like it teaches you shit, but it teaches you in a way that it don't feel like you watching Sesame Street. So where it's like today's episode is about how to, you know, tell if you're getting
Yeah,
sick. But like it told the story in a way to where it didn't feel like it was being dumbed down and like spoon fed to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
exactly.
So As Told by Ginger did that really fucking well. And it should have been one of them Nickelodeon shows that had like, 8 seasons or something. Cause like you cause they could have did thing where like Ginger goes to high school and shit and like ended when she go to college and shit like that. Like it could have been one of them shows. It really could have been one
would
of
Yeah.
them
have.
shows. Now that's my
And
huh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I I was just finna just touch on Static, but at the same time, you know, if I don't know if everybody had watched the like final episode of Static Shock. Like, did y'all get a chance to watch the final episode of Static Shock?
I'm pretty sure
I
I
didn't even know it
did.
was a final one.
I'm pretty sure I did, but that was so long ago. I was like 4.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna recap you. Maybe it may jog your memory. Okay, so it was a two-parter. It was dang, what's his the dude name? The tall black dude who can make like portals or dark portals or whatever. The main villain. Ebon.
Yeah,
Ebon, there you
yeah,
go. Ebon had finally got his hands on all the Big Bang gas. And he was finna turn the whole Dakota City into like Bang Bang. But what fucked it up was earlier in the episode, probably like an episode before or whatever, they had came up with the cure for Bang Babies. They had finally found the cure, so they was giving it to folks who wanted it. And here go Ibon who got this tank of gas. Okay, now I'm finna turn the whole city into Bang Babies, but now it's finna be that dose where this cure can't do shit. He was finna like up the dosage and everything. What fucked it up was Static and Gear ends up losing their powers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And now Ebon and his group, the villains or whatever, they didn't kidnap Gear and Static. Gear and Steady have to think outside the box because now they don't have their powers. They're literally losing their powers as they're trying to figure out how to stop Ebon from fucking up the city. Lo and behold, they find a way and they stop Ebon, but what fucks it up, Ebon and the guy who usually like the hothead, the human like torch, the grip
I know you're
off.
talking about. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Ebon end up fusing and they become this giant monster. And then somehow, some way, through the gas, Gear and Static end up getting their powers back, but like full throttle, like powers ain't going nowhere no more. They
Yeah,
stop it, and that's how Static's end. Like Static and Gear get their powers back, and it ends just like that. And before you knew it, it was canceled. I was like, bruh, y'all could have kept this shit going. Cause what if, like, cause it went off, the gas went off regardless. And you were sitting here like, okay, but the way it kind of spread it, who got affected and who didn't? And
Right.
did
yeah.
they have to like up the dosage on the cure, or like what somebody said? Like in
We'll
my
never
mind,
fucking know. We will
in my
never
mind, I
fucking know.
went totally X-Men on this shit. I was like, okay, do you have them folks who want to keep their powers? Did they go through some Magneto and Xavier type shit? Like, what the fuck happened? But
Okay,
you would never know
okay.
that.
Random side note before I get into my last one. You know what the plot of that reminds me of something that recently came out? You remember that Netflix show that Jamie Foxx was in about like them pills that give people powers?
Yeah,
That's what that reminds me of. Just like the plot of that whole show or movie or
yeah.
whatever it was.
I think it was called Blue or something like that. If not, y'all, my bad. I will look into it.
Yeah,
But
it
I
was about like where
remember,
like people getting like these pills and they get like superhero powers or some shit. But like if they don't get a cure, like they die or some shit. Like or like if they like get like a faulty one, like they get like a disease and then they die or some shit. It was something like that. It
yeah,
was something like that.
I know. Look, I'll look into it. I got Netflix.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Scales.
Well,
Sorry, Scales.
no,
We
I,
kind of
I got
like.
one more. I got one more. I
Oh,
said my last one.
okay,
Quit trying to cut me
okay.
off. Damn. No, for real. But no, but this is my last one. My last one. The one canceled show that I was able to watch full through, but they never finished it. They never did. Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
God, you cut me deep. You cut
Danny
me deep.
Phantom. Danny Phantom was like 5 or like 10 episodes away from being fucking perfect, but they did not
Yeah.
finish it. It was so fucking good. The last 2 seasons of Danny Phantom were so fucking good because that was kind of a trend with Nickelodeon shows where like the first season is kind of like episodic and nothing really ties in together. But like the second season and onward, they made it so fucking good. Like they were tying into like, Vlad and how like he was in love with Danny's mom, Danny finally
Yeah.
getting with Sam, him realizing that like his future self like destroyed the fucking town and shit and became evil and all of that. It was
Yeah.
so fucking perfect. It was so fucking perfect. Now don't get me wrong, I liked the movie, but it wasn't enough. The movie that they gave
Yeah.
him for like the it was like a last like 2-part movie thing that they gave him for like
Yeah.
instead of like giving him like
Uh,
fully fleshed out episodes, like they just put it in like
cause
a two 1 hour special.
yeah, cause Nickelodeon said the movie is literally the last episode. It wraps everything up,
But it
and
wraps
I
it
was
up
Yeah.
like,
too quickly.
exactly.
That's why I said it needed like at least 10 more episodes to wrap it up how it should have been. Cause it was so close to
Yeah.
being like the perfect send off for a show. Like the movie was okay, but like they rushed it. I don't know why they rushed it like that. It was on its way to being one of their best shows, but the ending fall flat and shit, and like it don't really leave you satisfied when you watch it. And it's like they could have did like so much more with like Danny being like evil and shit. But like every time they touched on it,
Yeah.
he would turn good by the end of the episode. And like I thought they was gonna do like some multiverse type shit where like you
That would have been
find out that
awesome.
like the original Danny was actually evil or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like they had started doing it, but they rushed the ending so quickly to where they couldn't do nothing like that.
Yeah.
I was left on a cliffhanger my entire life, and I'm still mad about this shit. It makes me
You
upset
ain't the only
every
person. You
fucking day.
you are not the only person. Like the creator of Danny Phantom is also the creator of Fairly Odd Parents and stuff
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Butch
that.
Hartman.
Yeah, Butch Hartman. And he fought along with a lot of people across the world who petitioned to keep Danny Phantom alive. And Nickelodeon was
Yeah.
like, no.
Nickelodeon was like, no, SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been their
And
response for like the past 15 years to anything. No, SpongeBob. Hey Nickelodeon, do you want to have Adventure Time? No, SpongeBob. Okay.
and I was
And
just
they
like,
lost that one.
Phantom's ending is like Codename Kids Next Door ending. Like it's good,
Yeah.
but it's not enough. It's like
oh,
It
it's
left
more to it.
like it left so
yeah.
much on the table.
Hey,
Yeah,
y'all. Side note, it's just a rumor I've been hearing, and now I don't know if it's a rumor or it's gonna be confirmed to be true. But apparently, because there's new art out and like Easter eggs about it and stuff, apparently we are finally finna get those Codename Kids Next Door episodes that we have probably been asking for.
you lying.
I'm so fucking serious. They have
They
been
finna
putting
make
Easter eggs.
Galactic Kids.
Bruh,
T
I'm gonna
T
send
T.
you.
I
I'm
promise.
going to
If
send
you are
you.
lying to me, I
You
will
hyping them
fight
up.
you today.
I'm not
You
I
lying.
hyping
will
them up.
literally fight
I'm
you.
not lying. Like I think I was telling you, like Scales. I remember I was telling you on Instagram, like they had the
Yeah.
new artwork for the Codename Kids Next Door. Like the artwork is fucking fire. Like it blew my mind. And like it's a lot of folks on YouTube who are literally giving you the Easter eggs to go see, like to put it together. But apparently, Cartoon Network might be bringing Codename Kids Next Door back, and probably
I'm not.
Galactic.
I'm gonna sound so fucking nerdy right now, man, but I don't fucking care. I could do a whole episode on theories of what I think gonna happen in Galactic Kids. I'm not even capping. I'm dead ass. Like I
But
You
could
know
do
that
a
could you know
whole.
apparently,
that could actually work, right?
No, I'm dead
That
ass.
could
Cause like,
actually
bro,
work.
like I watched a video about like the creator like explaining like Galactic Kids and shit, and like I've been waiting on that. Like ever since I saw the ending of Kids Next Door, I was waiting on like the next fucking season because like I think I explained it to y'all. I don't know if we did it on camera or not, but like I think I explained it somewhat of it to YouTube. But like Scales, I don't know if you know, but like Izzy's an alien.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, like Izzy's an alien and shit, and like it's this scene where like he drew up like number one and 264 like number one is like about to like set off a fucking bomb or some shit, and 264 is like don't do it or some shit. And like
Yeah.
number one was like fighting with like kids on like another planet or some shit, and like I don't fucking know, but like okay, we gonna
Oh,
do a whole episode on that
oh,
shit because I could,
okay. It's called Galactic Kids Next Door,
yeah,
and I am literally looking at it, and apparently it's supposed to be more sinister than previously believed.
yeah, because they're
Like,
older now, because like in the regular kids next door, they're all like 13, they're all like 12 and under, but like I think the premise was like even when they get to like being like teenager age, like they still fight against adults and shit like that. Cause like in the last couple episodes of Kids Next Door, if you remember, like you had like that secret agent dude telling number one like it's bigger than like you versus the teenagers and like you versus the adults on Earth.
yeah,
And like it was gonna be, I thought it was gonna be like this big old like war arc and shit, but it never happened. It
it
never
never
Yeah.
fucking
happened.
happened. I'm sorry. Okay, we got sidetracked. That'll be his own episode. I literally could rant about that shit all day. We would be here for hours. But back to Danny
I
Phantom.
know.
But just like I was saying earlier, the Danny Phantom ending is just like the Kids Next Door ending, and like it's so much that they could. It's so much untapped potential in that show to where like it could have been so much more than it
It's
could have
a
been so much more than what it was, but they just rushed the ending and canceled it, and I'm upset about it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
okay,
Fuck you,
Scales.
Nickelodeon.
What you got? What you got for the Scales?
And mine are kind of like familiar, but kind of like oddballs a little bit. One of them I will say for this one, I really want the license to, in order to make it more justifiable, let alone to give it a proper send off. Um, I don't know if y'all actually heard about this one back in the day, but it's called Godzilla the series. It pretty much is an animated. Uh, it was supposed to be an actual sequel, a live action sequel to that of the actual '98 version that a lot of people have mixed feelings about even now in today. But it actually became the animated series instead, and it actually did take off, seeing the fact that one, you had, of course, an actual Godzilla like creature fighting actual creatures again, like how it used to be back in the actual Toho days. I actually loved that as a kid and everything growing up because I actually did have, of course, an actual roaring Godzilla figurine, as well as, of course, actually getting up every Saturday morning watching the show. Now like I say, now that I reflect back off of it, it still holds up even in today's age because it actually makes me think back to those ages. But it's like the way that the ending of the series went, which it only has 2 seasons, is like I want to take that on, have it redone, from the very first episode going forward, maybe in the same animation, maybe in something a little bit more cleaner, even bring it back possibly, all the voice actors if possible. If not, try to, cast something into like a differential light, have something going on with even possibly the Monsterverse version going on or something like that. Or even, just paying tribute to it to whereas it can finally have its best send off period, even if it is going to be like 3 seasons and kind of like go from there, like most traditional shows usually go, and then run its own natural course. Finally run it out. Finally have these people, well, the actual humans, do their thing and everything. If they're going to be together or not and everything, leave it be. Go from there, and just pretty much say like, okay, we finally got this. Now what? So that's my first show off of that one. The second one I still say off of this one is Fillmore. Yeah, I know I'm probably gonna hear about it again later on, but it's like that of course,
I
Danny
never got
Phantom,
to watch
Codename Kiss
Fillmore.
Next Door. I actually got a playlist. I'll send it to you later if you actually want to watch it or kind of like listen to it and then watch it and then go from there. But it's like the way that the series was overall written. It was pretty much a cop genre, but just written in a child's format, and it left so much on the table. I've actually read like fan fiction threads like as to like how the characters could have worked out, what they actually would have done, and all this other stuff. Even the creator of the show said that that the third season itself would have tied everything together, to whereas it just would have been the final one after that, and it wouldn't have been no more. But only just having, of course, just 2 seasons, it just throws everything completely off, and it's like there's no way to actually just kind of like bring something like that back into today's age without it just probably either being like a one-off, or I guess having minor inspirations from that, like Law and Order or anything else. It's just that it was in its own league on its own. And it was like it was around the same time, like when Kim Possible was out, when the original running of the Proud Family was out, when you basically had like great shows back then, and you got the shows of now, kind of like doing either a rebirth or just their own thing. It's like, yeah. So my third show to probably wrap this up that I find underrated, or I guess they not rated at all. Okay, now I remember. It was pretty much a very short-lived